Thank you so much for joining us today. And we're going to talk more about Kenny Carter. We have part 4. Plus, there's another video about Kenny Carter. Today, we're going to talk about his championships and his great accomplishments. And we're going to talk about that right now. In 1981, Kenny hired Ivan Major to be his manager. Ivan the Great, we know who he is. He was one of the greatest Speedway riders of all time. To guide him to hopefully a future championship. But we know that 1982 with the Los Angeles Coliseum debacle, that Kenny had a really bad night. Especially in Heat 14. We talked about that. But Kenny went on to some great success. He avenged those losses, and we're going to talk about those right now. June 18th, 1983, Kenny teamed up with Peter Collins, a fellow Englishman, and they were going to race for the world's best pairs. And they won that race. Kenny and Peter won the World Best Pairs Championship with 25 points. Billy Sanders' team finished a close second place with 24 points. And the great Dennis Sigalos, Siggy, and Bobby Boogaloo Shorts, they finished 4th place on that with 18 points. But the year before, they won the world's best pairs, Bobby Schwartz and Dennis Sigalos. June 20th, 1984, a year later after the Best Pairs Championship, Kenny won another championship. He was hot, and he won the British Championship, the British title. He finished with 13 points for the championship. Andy Graham finished with 12 points, and David Jessup finished 3rd place with 11. The most amazing thing in 1984 is that Kenny won the championship, the British League Championship, with a broken right leg. His leg was broken, and he still won that with the 13 points, and that was pretty amazing. That reminds me of Ronnie Moore. He won that 1959 World Championship with a broken leg also. Kenny and Ronnie have something in common. In 1985, just a year later after he won that British League title, Kenny won his 2nd British League title in a row. Back-to-back titles. Kenny was a two-time British League champion. He won this time with a maximum of 15 points. No broken leg this time. Kenny went ahead and maxed that score. He literally beat everyone. No one could beat Kenny at that time. Going back to Kenny's early day racing, he raced in 1978 for just a half of season for the Newcastle Diamonds. From 1978, halfway through the season, to 1985, the whole time Kenny raced for the Halifax Dukes. Kenny raced for his hometown team. That was his birthplace in Halifax, and he must have loved it there, and I'm sure the fans loved him too. So he raced all those years for one team. 1986 was Kenny's last year, and it was the year he passed away. He raced for the Bradford Dukes just for a short time. I don't know why he left Halifax. He seemed like he had a pretty good home there, and like I say, that was his birthplace. And Kenny was just an amazing rider wherever he went. Maybe he wasn't the most popular rider on his team, but I'm sure the fans must have loved Kenny because he was just an amazing rider. Kenny, like I mentioned in the last blog, that he should have won the World Championship. But if he was racing today, he was ahead of his time, I believe. He would have probably won a GP series in 2020 series. Or at least maybe more. Kenny was just an amazing rider, and he had so much talent. It was just unbelievable. Kenny's life was cut short at the age of 25, that last season with Bradford, and it just was tragic. You know, we don't know exactly what happened. We know that he had a lot of tragedy in his life with his mother passing away. She committed suicide. And just so many bad things happened in the family. Tragedy. And this was another tragedy. It's my hope that we remember Kenny Carter for his championships and his amazing talent. Kenny Carter was just an amazing talent. He had more talent than anyone could almost wish. He never actually utilized that to the fullest, but Kenny Carter was an amazing rider, and we should tip our hat for his abilities. We should judge Kenny for his riding abilities and nothing else. So thank you so much for watching the blog today about Kenny Carter, part 4, the last series, and we appreciate you just hanging in there with all these videos. And we ask you to go ahead and check out some more videos up here of Kenny Carter. We have so many great videos here of him. So please like, share, subscribe, and always ring that bell.